Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another session of distance learning, online distance learning with Baldwin Beauty Schools. And Maribella, first one, Victoria Pierce, hi. Welcome, you guys. Y'all know what to do. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Connie. Hi, Brenna. Katie Bowe, Jessica Cardenas, McKenna Clucker, Deja Robinson, Olivia Fleck, Lila Herman, Hannah Broadway, Amber Crum. Hi, Chandler. Hi, Emily. Hi, Miles. Good to see you guys again. Hello, Destiny. Monica, Murra, Carson, Abby, Sydney, Chloe. Excellent. I hope you guys had a chance to enjoy this beautiful, magnificent day. I can't stop looking out the window, so if you see my head go this way, that's why. Let me show you. This is my backyard. Hold on, if you can see. I have my little girl over there in the corner, but it's so pretty outside. It's just hard not to appreciate that view. Yes. Hey, Lindy. I'm like chomping at the bit, and it's just the right temperature. It's not too scorching hot, but it's warm. So if you're always cold like me, it's just sunny enough to warm your skin, but the wind is blowing and that cool air is just hitting your face like feathers. Like it's nice outside. It's perfect. It really is. It's a perfect weather outside. So if you haven't already done so, make time to go outside, take your dogs. Yes, if you can do class outside, do it. I mean, come on. You ain't got nothing else to do. And it's Friday. Y'all ever see the movie Friday? Yeah. So, all right. So as you guys log in, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the chapter that we're studying, just in case. Wendy sent out a lot of worksheet work, so hopefully you guys have had a chance to do that. There is a long list of worksheets that you should have received in your email. What you're going to turn in for my segment is the scenario questions, and we're going to do a little bit of live. I'm kind of curious to see what your answers were for those little situations. Wendy gave you a few scenarios. I'll read them out loud, and then you guys are going to answer in the live chat column your answers. So I can't wait to see that. We have just a little bit of notes to take if you guys want to grab pen and paper. So want to say hi to everybody that's on. Hi, teachers. Happy Friday. Gracie's in the house. All right. So if you guys want to just take the time, get pen and paper, it's just a few little notes. I love this chapter, and I'm so happy Wendy allowed me to have the opportunity to teach it because, again, I'm a hands-on teacher. I don't get a lot of classroom time, but lately that's all I've been getting. So this is one of the chapters that I really enjoy teaching because I think it has a lot to do with growth as a person, from a young person to an adult, and it's just a lot of the understood rules or understanding with people that you have to abide by. Like, for instance, I grew up, if you called an older person by their first name, that was disrespectful. It was considered a disrespect. You use Mrs., Mr., or, and their last name. You never ever use their first name. I think a lot of our conversation or communication has kind of been lost in the waves of television and reality shows. I think people think it's perfectly okay to just drop F-bombs in public, which, I don't think that's something you should do. But if you do that, you need to figure out a way, especially if you have kids, to stop. It's very offensive. Even if I cuss, which I'm not an angel, I got a potty mouth sometimes too, but I don't want to hear it in my day-to-day professional life. So if you're one of those people that needs a little bit of a course or guidance on how to clean up just your day-to-day speech with people, even if you don't cuss, There are some things that you say and the way you say it can be mistaken or misconstrued, especially text messages. They're very impersonal. Yes, I'm talking about the assignment at the end, but if you didn't get the scenarios, don't worry. I'm going to read them to you and then you're going to give me some answers. Okay? Yes. All right. So the scenarios, if you didn't get them, don't worry. I'm going to read them to you. You don't have to write them down, but you should have gotten a series of worksheets this morning. So hopefully you guys had it with the word bank at the end and you should have, received that. So today you're just going to do my live with me, my instruction, just the scenarios. If you don't have them, you're going to write them down and then you're going to tell me your answer. Okay. All right. So Emily, the email last night said, yes, you're going to get what you need from me. It's just a few little like scenarios, about the salon setting. And then you guys are going to write down your answers and fill me in the live chat because I really want to see it. No, Jazzy, you shouldn't have received that. I'm going to give that to you now. That's your instruction for my hour. I'm 2 to 4 today. I'm going to do 2 to 3. I'm going to give you guys the scenarios, and then you're going to answer them, and then we're going to go over them together. So don't panic, y'all. Yes, you guys are turning this in, Alexia. You are turning this in. So just before we get started, just want to do a quick little precursor to my class. And you can get pen and paper, and this is just a short little thing I want to give you guys because I realize that human relations is something that we don't do a lot of anymore, that we're kind of out of the loop on, and we need to get back to it. It's something you're going to have to deal with in the salon setting when you're back at work. And I thought, what is the most important information I can impart on my students before they get back so that they can understand that this is kind of the universal unspoken or spoken thing that you need to remember for human relations. First of all, human relations is the psychology of getting along with others. It's basically how you treat people in a professional setting or in a context with a conversation, with, if you're meeting someone for the first time, do you introduce yourself? It's that kind of thing. So human relations have a series of things that are required in order for you to be successful. Okay? So I'm just going to write human relations. And some of you may or may not be aware because maybe you live in a household or you are around people who think it's perfectly fine to burp out loud in front of strangers. You might have friends or acquaintances who think it's perfectly fine to yell or raise their voice at somebody or be offensive. So the first thing you want to take note of is your conduct. Your conduct is the way you behave in any situation, on a particular occasion. How do you conduct yourself? Some of you, and I'm not going to do targets right now. Target practice is for when we get back. But some students, and I will say this, have poor conduct. And what I mean by that is they might not necessarily be loud and intrusive and offensive, but their conduct is poor because they refuse to participate. They don't have a good attitude. They don't know how to conduct themselves or behave themselves in an occasion that requires they do so. For instance, if someone has a headache and they want to put their head down on the table and fall asleep in school, that to me is poor conduct. Doesn't matter why you're doing it, if it's a migraine and all that, you can give me 25 reasons and I won't even care because I look at that as an instructor as poor conduct on your part. Okay, so whenever you conduct yourself a certain way, you have to expect people to treat you accordingly. The next one, we are not short on that, personality. Every one of you has a personality. Every single person has a personality has you can write this down. You can add it to your notebook. Okay. It's going to help you out with your word bank if you need a word bank or if you get an extra, but or you can just rewind it or screenshot it. All right. But you will have to turn in your answers for my assignment. This is just a little precursor, and it's just words. It's not definitions. We're talking about human relations. Those of you that were just joining in, talking about the things that you need to be successful. Your job, your livelihood, your success is going to depend on those two words right there. So your personality is a characteristic or quality that forms you as an individual. Something that is manufactured or created by you. You can have a great personality. People always say, oh, she's got a really great personality. But that's a broad statement. Excuse me, y'all. That's a broad statement. When I think of personality, I think of somebody's traits. I think of the way they speak, the way they carry themselves, their attitude, their demeanor, their energy. Okay. Try to have a good personality, even if you don't feel like it. Number 3 is attitude. How many of y'all have, I'm going to say, sour attitude? Your sour patch had an attitude. An attitude doesn't necessarily mean somebody with a strong personality or a strong opinion, because that can be misconstrued as, so she has a bad attitude. Attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about something or someone. It's settled, okay? It's a regular thing that you do. So your attitude is something that can make you or break you depending on how you feel about things, your way of thinking and feeling. If you feel like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, your attitude is going to reflect that. Some of you who have health problems, like I have a lot of students, I'm trying to look at your, your energy, Monica. Some of you that have health problems or other issues feel it's okay to not have a great attitude. And you use that as kind of, let me escape by telling you that. There's no reason for this. This is a state of mind that you choose. It's not something that you have just because you have an illness, just because you don't have money. I have a bad attitude because I don't have a car and I have to catch the bus everywhere. No, there are a lot of people that ride the bus with a great attitude. Okay? This is your decision, a settled way of thinking or feeling. It's settled. So either it's a good or a bad one. So I want some of you to think about scenarios that are coming up and how your attitude can play a big part in your success or failure. The next thing, we all have these habits. We got habits. Everybody has one. Seriously, whether it's biting your nails, whether it's smoking, whether it's, pulling out your eyelashes. That's called trichotillomania. What is a habit? It's a regular practice that is hard to give up. That is a regular, ingrained practice in you that is hard to give up. That's what makes it a habit. A lot of us have good habits. I want you to think of all the good habits, because I can sit here and bash you all day about your bad habits. What are you doing? What are you doing bad? What are the good habits? Some of your good habits. Some of you are really probably into creating healthy meals for your family. You're a very clean person. You like organization. You have good habits that help other people. You like gardening. You like taking your kids swimming, because y'all need to get out and you need to exercise. You ride your bike every day. That's a good habit. Let me see some of y'all's good habits. Eating. Healthy eating. Yes. I know Lauren Baldwin eats very healthy. I don't know if she's on here, but That girl does her grind on healthy eating habits. And I always used to think about people who used to eat healthy, used to be like, you know. And really and truly, that's one of the hardest things to do. Working out, Jazzy G, exercise. Yes, Monica. Yep, Katie Bo, working. Ashley Duke says getting enough sleep. Girl, I'm with you on that one. That's a great habit. Yes, practicing deep breathing, coffee habit. Shanty. All right, cleaning, good habits, being positive. Yes, yes. Brushing your teeth every day. Saying something nice to somebody you love. It's a good habit. Checking on your neighbor. My neighbor she lives directly across the street. Her name is Donna, and she's elderly, and she's on a walker. And every time I see her groceries that she forgets, because she'll try to get her groceries by herself, I'll just make sure she gets them. I'll take them to her. All right, so number 5. Wendy is big on this one. I'll tell you right now. This is number 5. It's courtesy. Courtesy. Politeness toward others. You don't have this, you're not going to make it far with anyone. But I can tell you something about Wendy when it comes to courtesy. She's probably one of the most courteous people you'll ever meet. She will never, ever walk past you without speaking, saying hello, saying good morning, opening the door. How are you feeling? Are you okay? What's wrong? It's overkill, but she's courteous. And some people have that, and then some people have the component where this is not something they do. Some people have to practice courtesy. I'm one of those people that has to practice it. I do not have this on a day-to-day 24/7 like Wendy does. All right? I feel like courtesy is one of those God-given gifts that you have to have automatically for it to be effective and strong. Because a lot of people have courtesy, they'll do something for you, but they want something in return. They don't have that politeness toward others all the time. They do it because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Courtesy is just a natural, to me, it's like a reflex. It's not something you do, it's something you are. And then number 6, which is something we all need. This is going to help you with your human relations. Have you ever met somebody with no self-esteem? Have you ever met somebody who couldn't stop looking down at their feet? They couldn't make eye contact with you, couldn't form a regular sentence because they're scared, didn't know what to do with your haircut, didn't know about the color. I don't know. Self-esteem, evaluation of your own worth. That's all it is. You have to start self-esteem from within. You can't depend on your husband or your boyfriend or your mom or your sister to give you this. This is something that happens as you grow and learn to love yourself. And that's all boiled into respect. It goes all back to self-respect, mutual respect. But self-esteem is something that you think about yourself, your evaluation of your worth, not what other people think about you. And there are so many very, very talented, successful actresses and lawyers and doctors who have zero self-esteem. They fake it. They really don't have that. And if you don't have self-esteem, that's going to hinder your human relations process as you go along in the world. People automatically know just based on your body language if you have self-esteem. Someone who has self-esteem knows how to make eye contact. They know how to hold their head up. They know how to put their shoulders back when they walk. They use good posture. They have proper grammar. They say things with a favorable impression. That's self-esteem. You don't have to really have it. You just gotta act like you have it, but it's not something you can fake. All right, that's the last of my little notes. Hopefully you guys got those. So for this next part of the assignment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a scenario, and it gave me several scenarios. Your homework is going to be to write down your response to the scenarios. So you do not have to write the scenarios down. Y'all got those? Yes. Love yourself, right, Maria? You don't love yourself. Who else is going to love you like you can love yourself? Oh, y'all are sweet to each other. All right. So everybody ready for scenario numero uno? May have to put my glasses on for this one because this is a Okay, so this is for everyone, nail techs. And then I'm gonna look in your live chat. So you just listen, you don't have to write this. I just want you to write how you would respond to it. So here is your first scenario. Your client arrives 1/2 hour early to his or her appointment. Let's say her appointment, okay? And demands to be seen right away. That's situation number one. Your client arrives 30 minutes early and a half hour early to their appointment and demands, says, hey, you have to take me right now. What do? You can just write that down. That's scenario number one. If you want to just kind of jot down or rewind the live, that's going to be scenario number one. My suggestion, if they get there early, have a nice beverage so they can wait. But some of you may want to handle that differently. If the client is demanding that you take them 30 minutes earlier than your appointment, let me know how you would handle that. Mary Helen says, apologize, look at my schedule and see if I can squeeze. Oh, okay. Ashley Duke says it depends. Oh, Miles, we have, let's see, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scenarios. So you'll have space. Brenna says, if I'm not busy, I'll start, but if I have a client, I'll explain why I can't. Okay. Good answers, you guys. Ashley Duke says, it depends, right. If you're working with someone already, yeah, that's a hard one. She's 30 minutes early and you're finishing up and she's saying, I gotta go now. You gotta take me now. All right. Emily Molina says, let them know I may be busy and I will get to them as fast as possible and offer them a beverage or some magazines. All right. Chloe says, I would start working on them early if I wasn't busy with another client, had another client. I apologize for the wait and offer them a drink. All right. Oh, yes, there are 7 scenarios. Victoria Pierce, your client has arrived 30 minutes. Okay, yes. Victoria got it, see? Tabitha says a cold glass of champagne or wine ready or early morning coffee if they're in the morning. Very good. Have them wait while I check the schedule and fit them in as soon as possible. Very good. Excellent. Pease them. Annalisa Siciliano says, tell them, it's so good to see you. Please let me get you something to drink while I'm finishing up. Yes. Okay. So you guys know etiquette. Great answers. Sam says, I'm so glad you're here, Mr. Jones. I'll be right with you as soon as I finish up this client. Yes. Always let them know. Always let them know. Yes, Alina, your responses are supposed to be written down and turned in. Correct. You can write it in the chat. You can do both, but it has to be written down and turned in. You don't have to write the question. You just have to write your response. So if you don't want to do the chat, every question, you don't have to. It's just I'm curious to know some of y'all's answers, and they're very good. Oh, Jessica says, apologize and check the schedule. Then if she can't take them right away, she'll give them something to do while waiting. Oh, great idea. Maybe give them a little, free lotion and have somebody do a hand massage, get started shampooing. Yes, Destiny. Yep. And that's going to work if you have an assistant too. If you have somebody assisting, you can always get that client in the shampoo bowl, maybe do some kind of hand massage or scalp massage or something. All right, very good. Ready for the second scenario? Scenario number 2. So scenario number 1 was your client arrives 1/2 hour early to the appointment and expects to be seen right away, demands to be seen right away. Scenario number 2, your client arrives 30 minutes late for her appointment, but wants all of the services she'd scheduled anyway. She's an hour late and demands on all the services she scheduled. So you've got to do a partial highlight retouch, toner, conditioning treatment, blowout, trim. You don't have enough time for that. So what if she is 30 minutes late? Now remember, she's 1/2 hour late. It's really not a lot. Okay, Wendy just wants you to respond on paper. Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Lauren. I can always tell it's you. My mom says. Okay, so just respond on paper. You don't have to do the live chat. But again, I'm curious, so maybe at the end we could get some of y'all's answers. Okay, so scenario number 2, your client arrives 1/2 hour late for her appointment, but wants all of the services she'd scheduled anyway. She wants everything she scheduled with you. Yeah, 30 minutes is a long time. It really is. To some people, though, it's not. That's why that's a good little scenario. So your first scenario, your client is early. Second one, your client's late. Scenario number 3, your client is angry because his appointment was scheduled for 1 o'clock, but you did not take him until 1:10. And he is angry. So he scheduled a haircut with you at 1 o'clock. You were 10 minutes late, and he is so upset. Just write down what you would do in this case. And when I say upset, I don't mean like yelling, screaming. He's just kind of a little bit bothered, and he wants to express himself. So he's telling you, but you're 10 minutes late. You're 10 minutes late. And some people are really, really sticklers for time. So that is going to be your scenario number 3. Again, you don't have to do this in the live chat, but if okay. Lindy says, apologize for the confusion, get her started and explain some of the services she's requesting. Okay, this is for the 30-minute late client. Might need to be fit in. Yes. Very good. Offer a little free art. Oh, you must gonna have a tattoo shop and a hairstylist shop. Okay. All right, so the last one was your client is angry because his appointment was scheduled for 1, but you did not take him until 1:10. I know, Victoria, I'm mixing them up. I'm sorry. You can put that in the same order if you want. Okay, y'all ready for the next one? Your client arrives for an appointment on Tuesday, but you have it on your schedule for Wednesday. Happens all the time. Your client arrives for an appointment on Tuesday. You have it scheduled for Wednesday. What will you do? Okay, Lindy says apologize. Oh, Brenna said, oh my God, I would die if I was late. Okay, so your client arrives for an appointment on Tuesday, but you have it in the schedule for Wednesday. That happens a lot. People get confused all the time. Stylists get confused all the time. So that is really, really common. What would you do for that client? Just write down your Lauren Garbedian says, apologize for the confusion and ask your client how you can make it right. Yep. Hey. Oh, Hannah Broadway, offer a small discount. That's always a good thing to do. People calm down when you say, let me knock the price down a little bit for you. But that's when an apology is due for sure, especially if it's on your fault. If it's their misunderstanding, they're usually will be, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. But if it's for you, Serena says, just let them know they're actually scheduled for the next day and don't make them feel embarrassed about it. Also ask how they got that info in case it was wrong on, yes, you want to know that for sure. Definitely for sure. Very good. All right, so the next one, your client complains about her finished design does not look like the picture she showed you. That's a hairstylist one or a nail tech one. Your client complains because her finished design does not look like the picture she showed you, or her nail art, or whatever. Doesn't look exactly like the picture. Apologize for the misunderstanding. Yes. Reschedule with a discount. All good. Thank you, Victoria. Good looking out, sweetheart. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm not a magician, Britta says. No. All right. So what are you gonna say? Are you really gonna say that? It doesn't look like the picture. I wanted it like this, and this is. McKenna Clarker says, I always make sure people know that it's never gonna look exactly like the picture. There you go. That's a good thing. And I always tell them, you always under promise. Don't over promise, you under promise so that they're so, yes, inspired by what you do. Miles says, tell them they might need to see an optometrist. Miles, all right. Doesn't look like the picture. People do cry and get upset because a lot of the pictures that they have on their phones and on Instagram or on Pinterest are filtered pictures. They have been altered or enhanced, and they're not a realistic, especially gold. That's something that's like a gold. That's not for exactly like the picture. Mallory says, I would let them know prior to starting. Your hair is thick or thin. Tell them the realistic outcome may not be what they think. Yeah. Be honest. Perfectly good. All right. The next one. I think we're on number 5 or 6. This is number 6. Your client forgot to bring her gift certificate and refuses to pay for her service. Okay. She got a gift certificate. She forgot it. You're done with all the service, the whole service. And she says, no, I have a gift certificate. I'm not paying. That's a hard one. Yes, Metabella, I'm going to repeat the next one. Your client forgot to bring in her gift certificate and refuses to pay for her service. So that scenario is your client has a gift certificate or a voucher and she left it at home and she is leaving after the service is completed and she doesn't have it. Are you going to make her pay for her service? Because she's already told you she's not paying. She has a gift certificate. Oh, Mallory says, I have a copy. That is a hard one. I have a copy of the gift certificate to look up. Tell them we can hold their card on file. And if they call within 24 hours to give us the gift certificate, we will not run the card. Yeah. Yeah. Call the police. Maria! No, Maria, you call police. Think about that when you guys, she's a client and she has a gift certificate. What are you going to do? You going to dump her purse out? Look for your gift certificate? Okay, so the last one, your last scenario is your client complains that the salon is too noisy. Your client is upset. We've had that happen too at Baldwin. It's too noisy in here. Zilly says, work it out. All right, Emily says, I would look it up or just tell her to pay and come back with the certificate. Yeah, okay. what Allison said. What did Allison say? I didn't see her. I would ask her to pay for the service and offer to refund her. Yes. Okay. Y'all are good. You guys have great, like, bedside manner. All right. So just in case you were a little bit late, I'm going to read those scenarios in the order that I have them. I was skipping around. So first scenario number one, your client arrives 1/2 hour early to the appointment and demands to be seen. Scenario two, your client arrives 1/2 hour late for her appointment and wants all of the services that she scheduled. Number three is that your client arrives for an appointment on Tuesday, but you have it in the schedule for Wednesday, and I mixed them up again. Don't worry about them, just respond. Okay, the next one was your client is angry because his appointment was scheduled for 1 and you didn't get to him until 1:10. The next one was your client complains because her finished design does not look like the picture she showed you. And the next one was your client forgot to bring in her gift certificate and refuses to pay for her service. And then the last one is your client complains about the salon being too noisy. I'm curious to hear that last one. Tell me what you guys would say if the client was truly feeling like the salon was too noisy. How would you handle that? Some people would handle that, I think, poorly, because if you play music in your salon, I think sometimes people have a tendency to feel like it's not that noisy. Oh my God. But what if it's noisy to them? What if you've got a kid crying in the background? You've got music playing overhead. You've got a blow dryer next to that. Yeah, that last one is hard. Oh, Alexis Cisneros says, I would kindly ask that they bring in earbuds next time. Can't really control, yes, how loud other people talk. I turn down the music first, Tabitha says, but if that isn't enough, I try to offer headphones. Yeah. Shan says, if you're in a suite, you can just turn it down. Yeah. Clients complaining that your salon is too noisy. And too noisy could mean anything. It doesn't necessarily mean music, or it could be a TV in the background. It could be the client with the child. McKenna says, offer to change the music station or ask if they want music turned down. Noise from other stylists and clients really can't be controlled. Yep. Very, very true. Truth be told. So what I'd like to give you guys a chance to do right now is I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to put you on mute. You're going to take the opportunity to work on those scenarios, write the scenario down. You do not have to write the actual scenario itself, just your response to it. Okay. So let me give you guys a few minutes to do that while I read your comments. Mallory says I would try to accommodate them as much as I could, or that I could control. Earplugs. Serena Tijarina, earplugs, the disposable ones, or noise? Yes. Noise canceling headphones. But what if you're doing hair? Can't have headphones. Lindy Thornhill says, try to schedule this client for quieter times in the future. Good answer. Very good answer. Maybe an early morning or a later shift at night when there's not a lot of people around. Yes. Lower the music. Lowering the volume of the music always works, because sometimes that's the problem. Maybe you could, if someone has a child that's upset or crying, you could ask that person's guest to take the child outside. Most people will take a child outside, but some people don't. Thank you, Victoria Pierce. She's taking care of y'all. The last scenario, client arrives on Tuesday. Yes, appointment is scheduled for Wednesday. So we'll know which ones they are. So if they're not numbered properly, that's my fault. Excuse me for that. All right. This is the assignment that has to be turned in by 5. And that's why I'm giving you guys enough time to work on it, so that you can actually write that out in your own handwriting, or however you're doing your assignments. So then After that, I'm gonna just check back in and do a final roll call at the end. So at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna check back in with you guys. So if you guys want to start working on those now, please do. Hello, I'm back. Yes, these are the only scenarios. Hopefully, you guys finished. We still have just a few minutes left. Before I leave you on this beautiful, lovely day, want to just do a quick little question or a Q&A of the first part of my live, which I mentioned there are several things that go with human relations, the conduct, personality, attitude, habits, courtesy, and self-esteem. Out of all of those, which ones are you going to work on as just personally, you yourself? I'm going to start. So what I'm going to work on is my attitude. Sometimes I find myself having a poor attitude about things that really I don't have to have um, a bad feeling about. It's just my choice to do that. So I need to work on that. My attitude toward certain things in my life, certain people in my life. I would love to change that. And that's my perspective and my perception. So that's what I'm going to work on. Yeah, Taylor's attitude for sure. Yeah, that's a hard one because I don't necessarily feel like I have a bad attitude, but I have to work on that part of my human relations goal. All right, let's see. Alina Frias, attitude, Taylor Campbell. Yep. Chloe Long, self esteem. That's a hard one. Yeah, yes. So, what are of those, that list of words that I gave you in the beginning, are you going to work on? Oh, I'm at a bill. Thank you. That was so good. Habits, time management. Yes, gratitude, self esteem, habits. Self esteem habits. I know. Time management. Hey, y'all are so honest. Look at that. And that's a hard one to admit. Your attitude and your self esteem and your habits. Time management, Mary Helen, habits, attitude, faith, self esteem. Yes, yes. Because guess what? If you don't work on it, how can you heal it? Yes, habits, habits, habits. And habits, all we got to do is change those. That's always going to be a work in progress. But your conduct, personality, attitude, habits, courtesy, and self esteem. Which one would you change? Marie says mine is personality and time management. Personality? Marie, I love your personality. What? Jennifer Orr says self esteem. Jazzy G says habits. Yeah, self esteem. Yeah. Barbie North. All right. Those of you that are logging out, y'all might want to put next to your log out. If you weren't in the very beginning of this video, you have no idea what I'm talking about, rewind and then write that down as extra credit on your assignment. Habits, habits, Deja. Habits. This is all for self improvement. We're going to go back as new, reformed people, self esteem. That's a good one. I think all of us can work on that because we don't always have it every day. Even those of us who think we do have it, we really don't. So that's something we all have to work on. All right, so it's 2:54. Hopefully you guys have completed your scenarios. If you need to recap, you can always feel free to rewind or phone a friend, reach out. Those are going to be due, turned in. Just rewind it to get the scenarios. And then you guys can either look at the live chat or replay the video because Victoria was kind enough to actually type out the scenarios. So as you guys are timing out for this hour, and of course you get to, because it's 2 to 4 to work on your assignments, make sure you turn those assignments in on time, please. And thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you, Tabitha. You're so welcome. Clocking out. Bye, Shan, Z, Armenia, Jazzy, Cassandra. Last roll call, you guys. Gonna say bye. Looking at all of you. Say goodbye. You're welcome, Chloe. Bye, you guys. Thank you. I miss you all so much. Hopefully you are gonna have a restful, beautiful day. But go outside if you can. It's gorgeous outside. It's so nice. Bye, Vicky. Bye, Sam. Jazzy, the assignment for this hour is your scenario. So you're gonna listen to the 7 scenarios and then write your response to them and then turn those in. All right? Guys, have a peaceful day. Bye, Miles. Bye, everybody. Bye, Ashley Dix. I love seeing the new students' names. Bye, Cassie. Bye, everyone.